Hello, I'm Andrew Pritchard. Thank you for watching today's Northeast Regional Forecast, brought to you by Nutrien Ag Solutions. We've got a lot of active weather going on across the central United States, slightly quieter across the Northeast, but we're watching for another low-pressure system to develop over the Central Plains, swinging off to the Northeast, bringing blizzard-like conditions to the upper Midwest. We'll see some snow falling here on Tuesday, which is going to, we'll talk about some accumulating snow across parts of the northern areas of the Northeast region. But as this particular storm system midweek lifts off to the Northeast and eventually into the Northeast region, it's going to begin to kind of fall apart. It really intensifies and reaches its peak intensity over here across the Central Plains and the mid-Mississippi Valley. Why is all this happening? Well, we'll look at the jet stream first. See this trough here, the U shape in the jet stream? That's going to begin to dive and amplify as it moves into the central United States. And as that happens, we see an area of low pressure develop at the surface over the central U.S., again, over the Central Plains, lifting off to the northeast. And it's really going to be a parade of these over the next 7 to 10 days that keeps things active across the central and the eastern United States, with each one bringing its own mixed bag variety of impacts to the regions. So let's take a look at precipitation type forecast here from the European model. We can watch this low develop over the central U.S. and then begin to race off to the northeast. And there you see the parade of systems. That first one here, Wednesday and Thursday, that lifts off to taking a northerly track. And then by the time we get to the back half of the weekend, over around Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, we see another low begin to race off to the northeast. This one looks like it has maybe more substantial impact, a more significant precipitation impact anyway, across the northeast region. But it's really just a parade of storm systems. On the backside there at the end of the loop, we already see our next low that's beginning to move into the area. So 3 systems we're watching over the next 7 to 10 days, bring again impacts from the entire central U.S. into the northeast, with heavy rain threats off to the south. A lot of drawings on there. Let's jump ahead. Let's talk about just the northeast region here. We'll look at a zoomed-in shot of the European precipitation type forecast model. Here we see we're starting off on Tuesday with that storm system, that little kind of compact low that's tracking through the region, bringing some snow chances to basically areas north of here. We'll play this out over the next week or so, but really wanting to focus in on that first storm system. Then you see the next one swing through here as we get to, let's go ahead and jump through time. It'll be a little bit easier to see spacing on that ability here. So Wednesday night, we start to see this, or Tuesday night getting into Wednesday morning, we start to see this first storm system lifting off to the east across the Atlantic Ocean. Now we're getting into Friday morning. We're seeing the next storm system beginning to move into the picture. The low is about up here. It's dragging this cold front through the region. That's where we see shower and thunderstorm activity developing in advance of that. Now again, I mentioned this begins to kind of fall apart as it lifts into the northeast. That low is way up here now, the front kind of stretching through this area, but we're not seeing a real focused area of significant precipitation across the northeast with this particular storm system. We will see some. We'll talk about amounts here in a second. But then we're getting out into the future here where, certainty is a little bit less, but by the time we get into Sunday night, we're seeing that next storm system lifting through the area, bringing with it, the cold front, the warm front up here where we've got winter precipitation perhaps falling in this area, and then the chance for more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity across the rest of the northeast region. We'll take a more higher resolution look still, mostly focusing just on the Tuesday into Tuesday night precipitation falling across the northern parts of the northeast region, and that's where you see it again, that accumulating snow going to be the heaviest across the northern parts of the region, with chances for maybe some heavier showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder across that area to the south. Total snow accumulation here getting us through Friday morning, and there you see it again along and north of that line generally, with the heavier snow definitely falling across the far north Maine, but maybe some high elevation snows here across parts of northern New York, parts of northern New Hampshire and Vermont. Liquid precipitation, again, this is going to be pretty well concentrated in this area Tuesday and Wednesday. Here we see the Thursday storm system kicking through the area, showers and storms here. Remember, that really kind of falls apart as it moves off to the northeast. I can expand this, though, to include that second storm system. We're looking at total precipitation from the European model, getting us through Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. And there you can see just maybe some spotty rain activity across this region from that storm system getting into the day on Friday, that Thursday-Friday storm system. But we're looking at patchy amounts of generally less than 1/2 of an inch It's not, I think, until we get to late Sunday into Monday that we'll see more widespread chances for precipitation across this area. So temperatures, we'll finish off with a look at the highs. High temperature forecast for the next several days. Tuesday, we're seeing that warm air kind of confined south of here. Remember, we've got snow falling in this area with that storm system tracking across the region from the northwest to the southeast. As we move ahead into the day on Wednesday and Thursday, we're seeing kind of cooler air spill in on the backside of that front as it moves off to the east-southeast, keeping us a bit chilly until we get into the day on Thursday. Now we're starting to see warmer air return and advance of that next storm system as we kick this ahead all the way to Friday. There you see it, 60s overspreading much of the northeast region. And now on the backside, we're getting that next storm system kicking through. This is Saturday high temperatures. We see that cold front move through the area. Still warm out ahead of that, but on the backside, cooling back off to more seasonable levels. As always, Eric Snodgrass will have an in-depth look at the evolution of the next 1 to 2 weeks in our Thursday morning ag forecast video, and I'll have your next Northeast regional forecast for you right here on Friday.